You're listening to the Morning Punch-In Show with RB and Jae, live and direct from more cities than an Instagram model's bio. Get ready for some boxing talk on the clock. Let's face it, you're not working and somebody's got to pay for the Wi-Fi.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It is RB and Jae. This is the Morning Punch-In Show, the most unpredictable, honest, and authentic morning boxing talk show in the game. Today is Monday, April 10th, 2017. Our special guests today on the Hotline Bling are Gervonta Davis and Tevin Farmer. If you guys missed it over the weekend, they got into a big confrontation in Maryland, and they said a lot of things during their confrontation, so we just want to clear the air. You know, we don't want to put no words in anybody's mouth, so they're going to come on today to thoroughly break down their confrontation for us. We got Jake's Take with Donovan coming up here in a few minutes. Jake is from FightNights.com, and of course, let me properly introduce my partner in crime, the creator and founder of BadCulture.net, contributor for Black Sports Online, all out there in L.A. with all the entertainers, Jay LaBeouf. What's good, Jay?
Hey. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday, and welcome back to the Morning Punch-In Show. It's good to be back with you again on this beautiful Monday morning, wherever you are. Looking forward to talking to these little crazy boys. When I look at Tank and I look at when I look at Tank and I look at Tevin, I'm so thoroughly entertained by the back and forth, and I'm looking forward to getting down to the bottom of it because it's pretty entertaining stuff.
It really is. And, you know, during the confrontation in Maryland, they both made some really, really good points. And we just want to break this whole thing down. How did it start? Why did it start? It's going to be a really good show today. It's going to be lit. As soon as we contacted both of them, they were both like, yes, we with it. So that's good. They ain't backing down and trying to retract anything. So anyway, why don't we start off with recapping this weekend's fights, and let's bring on Jake Donovan from FightNights.com for Jake's Take.
Take it. You're rocking with the Morning Punch-In Show with RB and Jae, and now it's time for Jake's Take.
Yeah.
All right. Good morning, RB and Jae.
Jakey.
Good morning, Jake. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
How are you? We are
I'm doing fantastic.
Good.
Enjoying this weekend.
Yes. Listen, there was a lot of fights this weekend that we want to, break down a little bit. And then we want to talk about a particular fight that got made this past weekend with Shakur Stevenson and Farmer rematching. We're going to get into that a little deeper. But, let's get that because that one's good. I want to let's break down some of the fights that happened this weekend. Flanagan defeated Petrov to retain the WBO title.
Yes, he did. It wasn't his best performance. It might have actually been Terry Flanagan's weakest performance since winning the title a couple of years ago. But It was a very important step towards his future. I mean, he's generally viewed, there's 4 belt holders in the lightweight division. He's generally viewed as the weakest of the lot. So, therefore, a lot of guys are going to be gunning for him. So, being that another significant fighter won from this past weekend, the fact that Terry Flanagan just held on to his title, it's a major step forward. The fight itself was a major step forward for boxing because everyone in the United States got to view it live on Twitter. For those who obviously don't have access to Box Nation and don't want to go through illegal streams, we got to watch it through Twitter. So shout out to Audie Palullo and Dana Promotions for making that happen. And hopefully there's a lot more of that to come in the future. I think promoters are finally starting to recognize that, fight fans would rather, pirate a fight than pay for it. So they're trying to find ways to bring it to social media.
Of course not. Yeah.
Of course, you have it right. Yeah, we all listen to it on the radio and wait for Twitter updates. None of us watch it illegally, of course.
Of course not.
But it was a good move by Audie Palullo. I mean, he had a vested interest because, Petrov was fighting for the title. That's his guy. And I even argued if Audie was the promoter of the entire show, it's very possible the entire show would have been made available via Twitter, just like, Showtime did with its card a couple of months ago. So hopefully these guys, hopefully it was a successful venture and that, there's more to come with that.
Yeah, so Frank Warren after the fight mentioned that he'd like Flanagan to fight Linares or Lomachenko, and I thought Verdejo was kind of in that running for a Flanagan fight. Anything with that?
Well, the thing is, Frank Warren has to mention those fights because if those fights can't happen, then yes, Felix Verdejo is the mandatory contender. So if Verdejo wants to fight, then Terry Flanagan is locked in to have him negotiate with him and taking that fight on. But the exception, it's not always automatic, but sanctioned bodies usually go for it, is a unification fight. So he would be able to pursue a fight with Jorge Linares or Mikey Garcia. Vasyl Lomachenko is a little special situation because he's still 130 pounds, so it wouldn't be a unification bout. But being that he's moving up in weight, potentially that's something that would be considered. But the main thing is it's still up to Felix Verdejo to want the fight. I have yet to hear that he actually wants the title fight. I mean, he had the opportunity last year. Injuries have plagued his career, and as well as these possible needs in training camp, because we just haven't seen that progression from him. We've seen the charisma. He's a nice-looking kid. We want to root for him to succeed, but I'm not seeing a title contender yet, and I don't know if anyone in his camp is either. So it's up to Verdejo to actually enforce that mandatory position. If he decides that he's ready for the title, then that has to be Terry Flanagan's next move, unless he can secure the type of unification bout that the WBO will say, okay, we'll let you move forward with that.
Yeah, we got some word on the curve later on Felix Verdejo, so stay tuned for that.
Okay.
There was some controversy this weekend, too, with Liam Williams versus Liam Smith.
Yeah, the chief support said it was one of the supporting bouts, along with the pro debut of Nicola Adams. But the controversy just swirled, even before the opening bell rang with Liam Williams and Liam Smith. Liam Smith, the former 154-pound champ, came in nearly 2 pounds overweight. He was told he had an hour to lose the weight. He decided it was a health risk, so he just gave up his chance to win the title. He said, he wanted the fight to proceed with Liam Williams only eligible to win the title. He claimed that later on he found out he actually had 2 hours to make the weight and claimed he would have made the attempt to shed the 2 pounds. I argue why not just come in at 154 pounds to begin with, but I guess that's neither here nor there. The fight itself, most observers had Liam Williams winning by a comfortable margin through 9 rounds. There was what I thought was an intentional headbutt. Liam Smith fought a very dirty fight. He got away with a lot of questionable tactics, including a headbutt that caused the cut over Liam Williams' eye. I was shocked when Liam Williams' corner decided to pull him out of the fight. I guess they figured since it wasn't ruled as the result of an accidental headbutt, that their guy was going to lose by TKO anyway. It was just very shocking. It was disappointing. Liam Smith ends up getting a win by TKO in a fight he essentially cheated twice to get to that point. He didn't, in my opinion, he didn't bother to make weight, and sadly his family has a history of that. Well, specifically his brother Paul Smith, but he cheated to get to that point, and then he fought the way he fought to win the fight. It was just that wasn't a very good look for boxing. Frank Warren is saying let's do it again, but who's to say the same thing doesn't happen all over again? My heart goes out to Liam Williams. He was well on his way to winning a world title. The WBO super welterweight title was at stake. He was well on his way to winning that title and just got completely cheated out of it twice. Yeah. If you think about it, because he never entered into a fair fight. Yeah.
Well, look, let's jump to HBO real quick. I want to breeze through the undercard, talk a little bit about the main event, but I really want to talk about Adonis Stevenson and the Fonfara rematch with you. So let's go over to HBO. The new MGM out there in Maryland opened up with Usyk versus Hunter. I will say personally that Michael Hunter super exceeded every expectation that I've ever had of him.
Sure did.
He dug deep, he didn't win, but it was a nice little tussle there, Jake.
Yeah, he was. The fact that Michael Hunter actually exceeded expectations made people sour a little bit on Alexander Usyk. They're like, oh, this is the number one cruiserweight in the world. This was a new look for him, man. He hasn't faced a style like this yet in the pros. Michael Hunter gave him a lot of uncomfortable looks, especially early in the fight, work behind that long jab. What I liked was Usyk actually figured it out, and then he wound up dominating the fight down the stretch, nearly had him out. But he won a comfortable decision. Michael Hunter's stock goes up because, as you said, he fought way better than anyone expected. In my opinion, Usyk still looked like the best cruiserweight in the world. He figured out a new style. He found a way to win. It really wasn't a close fight. A lot of people were sour on the fight. I thought it was an entertaining fight, personally. A lot more.
Yeah, it was a good tussle.
Yes, it was.
Well, okay, and then a good tussle was the next fight, was the Gonzalez-Dizdick fight.
Well, what I love is, we have a new light heavyweight contender, and as Robert Garcia would just say, now. But Alexander Vazdek, he looks like the best light heavyweight in the world. Vazdek.
You've been calling him Dizdick.
I'm sure that's why Robert Garcia calls him now.
Dizdick. Look at this dick here.
Yeah, but we're talking about, Yuneski Gonzalez, he made, Jean Pascal look really old when they fought. Everyone thinks he beat him. The judges didn't. They're the only ones in the room who saw Pascal winning that fight. He gave Vyacheslav Sherbansky a really tough fight. Vazdik made it look like, a one-man show. I mean, he made it look like
no doubt.
And he looked brilliant. I can't wait to see his next move. He's been saying that he's ready for a world title. I'm right there with him. I agree.
He's incredible. Yeah. I just watched him, and it was really beautiful. It was so technical and brutal at the same time, and I'm probably going to piss some people off by saying that. I actually enjoyed watching this dick this weekend better than I enjoyed watching Lomachenko.
I'm right there with you.
I liked his style better.
I didn't interrupt you. Yeah, what I loved is that he didn't just go in and just throw punches until the guy dropped. He threw 200 and I believe it was more than 250 punches in 3 rounds. The majority of them were jabs. He set everything up with the jab and then went to the power game to take out. I mean, it was incredible. The thing I liked is he got dropped once. It was 2 or 3 fights ago. He learned from that very one mistake that he's made in his career, and he said he's never going to make it again. I mean, it showed in big knockout wins over Gonzalez and Isaac Chilumba. I mean, 2 top 10 contenders that he's just absolutely tore through.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Mm-hmm. The main event. Let's go over to the main event. Lomachenko versus Jason Sosa. Lomachenko, just convincingly beat Jason Sosa. Sosa's corner, called the fight. It was the right thing to do. Chino Rivas loves his fighters to death. He warned the kid Jason, if I don't see anything from you in the next round, I'm going to save you. I'm not going to let you get hurt. It was a really emotional moment, I think, for everyone watching on TV, which actually made everyone a fan of Chino Rivas and Jason Sosa. I think, losing to Lomachenko, I don't feel is a bad thing. I think it's actually okay if you lose to a guy like Lomachenko. It's like losing to like a Mayweather. But anyway, It was pretty brutal. It was a tough fight. Jake, let's get your take on Lomachenko-Sosa.
Yeah, I mean, Lomachenko looked absolutely brilliant. I'm not going to have, on-air verbal orgasm that the HBO, announcing team did, but he looked amazing. He looked like one of the best fighters in the world, and the fact that it was like, watching, Roy Jones in the 90s. He took these top 10 contenders and made them look absolutely ordinary. I mean, all respect in the world to Jason Sosa. He's the guy that took the fight when a lot of other people, including Orlando Salido, the only guy to hang a loss on Lomachenko, turned it down, saying he didn't like the money that was offered. Jason Sosa signed a blank check, said, Lomachenko, best fighter in the world, sure, bring him on. All the respect in the world to for taking the fight, but once he got there, he was made to look ordinary. This is a legit top 10 junior lightweight that he had virtually no chance once the bell rang. It was a shame, and as you said, all the respect in the world to Chino Rivas. He let his kid fight as long as he could. He told him, you just go for the knockout. You're not going to win a decision. The announcers were getting on Chino for whatever reason, but Chino was giving them the advice. He's just, he's saying go all in. He even told him at one point, go for the knockout. If you get knocked out, I'll throw you on my fucking shoulder and carry you out of the ring. I mean, he's just telling his kid, leave nothing, leave it all in the ring. Don't leave anything on the table. And then it got to the point where he recognized his kid was, had nothing left, and he told him, one more round, and I'm pulling the plug. Sosa went out for the 9th round, couldn't get the job done. Chino held true to his word. He didn't give him another chance. He told him that's it.
Yeah. I think HBO recognizes that Jason did step up when nobody wanted to. When I say nobody, I mean they went through a list of people. Jason was not the first choice, the second choice. Hell, he wasn't even the third choice. So I think HBO recognizes that he stepped up. He stepped up against Nicholas Walters. He fought Fortuna. Then he fought Smith. I think with all due respect, Jason Sosa deserves a little tune-up fight. That would be nice.
Yeah, damn right.
Absolutely.
Give that man a little tune-up. But anyway, let's talk about Lomachenko. He wants Mikey Garcia next. He said we could do this, next week. Robert Garcia is saying Mikey Garcia would end Lomachenko's career. What?
That's a fantastic fight. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we were sitting here fantasizing about Jorge Linares and Mikey Garcia fighting, which is a fantastic fight, and that would determine lightweight supremacy. But once Lomachenko decides to move up to lightweight, the game completely changes, and that is definitely the fight to make. I hope that fight happens more so than the one that Lomachenko's team seems to be mentioning. As I mentioned earlier, Terry Flanagan's name has been, coming out of their mouth quite a bit. I would be a little disappointed if Lomachenko abandoned 130 to go up to 135 to fight Terry Flanagan, especially if he's saying he wants to fight Mikey Garcia. Because right now Mikey Garcia doesn't have a fight coming up next. He's supposed to fight Jorge Linares. But to my knowledge, I don't know where, if the negotiations have even begun, and if so, if they've even progressed. I don't think they've begun, and honestly, the fight probably won't happen next. Why not just go straight to the top? You're saying this guy is the second coming of Jesus Christ? Go straight to the top. Go after Mikey Garcia. Go after Jorge Linares. Fighting Terry Flanagan, especially if you're making Terry Flanagan come over here, I'm not going to have all the respect in the world for that move, to be honest, especially if we're saying this guy's pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, which I don't think he is, but he is, somewhere at or very close to the top 5.
I agree. Aegis, his manager, after the fight, he asked a question that I really had to think about, and I want to ask you this question, Jake and Jay. He said, what good would a Salido match do for us right now? A Salido rematch. What good would that do for us? So I'm going to ask you guys, what does a Salido rematch do for Lomachenko?
Jay, you want to go first?
Sure. Okay. I think that a Salido rematch solidifies his dominant presence and warrants these orgasms that they're having over the air. If he goes in and he definitively beats Salido, he proves that he is that guy, that technician. There was so much to do about Salido fighting dirty and clinching and all these things that Salido did in the fight. If he can readjust and beat him clearly, then it almost eradicates that blemish from his record. They might not want the fight because it's a dangerous fight and he potentially loses again. But at the same time, if he's that dude, then hey, get the blemish off. You have the opportunity.
Okay, I will say if Lomachenko wants to fight in the next 3 to 4 months and Orlando Salido is willing to take the fight, then the fight should absolutely be made next. The problem is you can't play games with the money. Salido had this opportunity. His team decided the money wasn't right. They didn't want the opportunity. So as far as reversing losses, I'm going to bring Jason Sosa into the mix. He got knocked out in the first round very early in his career. He went on to score, he went unbeaten in 17 straight fights, almost all of them by knockout. Everybody forgot that he, had that knockout loss. A lot of guys have lost early in their career. They didn't necessarily have to go back to, to the past and, beat that guy in order to move forward. Some guys have done it, Lomachenko's early enough in his career where, like I said, if the fight could be made now, yes, it's a great storyline, and that fight should absolutely happen next if he can't get the other 130-pound guys in the ring, which obviously has been the case. Otherwise, why not move forward? And I kind of agree with Aegis. In 6 months, 8 months, if Vasyl Lomachenko moves up to 135 and wins some belts there, then we got to look at, what is Orlando Salido doing right now? Does he become Breidis Prescott where, he hangs on to that Amir Khan win for, years and years and years? Orlando Salido actually hasn't won a fight in quite a long time.
What would be I want to throw this out there, and I know I'm going to sound a little biased right now, but if Sosa can get, a nice little tune-up here and there, and Lomachenko doesn't fight Salido, I wouldn't mind seeing Jason Sosa versus Salido.
That'd be a fantastic HBO boxing after dark fight.
That'd be a fucking war. That'd be a war.
Then we're talking about all these guys. Like I said, if Lomachenko leads 130, I have a feeling all of a sudden these guys are going to come out of the bushes and want to fight each other. And that's the perfect time for Jason Sosa to make his, quote-unquote comeback, since every time you lose, you have to make a comeback. But, go fight Orlando Salido. Go fight Takashi Miura, Miguel Burchelt, all these guys, even Francisco Vargas, whenever he's ready to come back. There's a lot of fights that, Jason Sosa could dive right in. Fans would be salivating over.
Jake, we have 3 minutes before Tevin Farmer comes. I want to talk about the rematch that was made between Adonis Stevenson and Fonfara. Now, about a month or two ago, Shawnee Monahan signed with Lou DiBella. He decided not to re-sign with Top Rank because apparently he was promised this big fight in Long Island, New York, with Adonis Stevenson. And then all of a sudden on Friday, it comes out that Adonis is rematching on June 3rd against Fonfara in Canada. Monahan went on Twitter and said, he's a punk motherfucker. Nobody respects you. But I thought Lou DiBella was getting him the Stevenson fight.
Right.
It's a shame. And the sad part is nobody is now speaking on Shawnee Monahan's behalf. I wrote a story, ripping Adonis Stevenson apart. I'm sorry to say, I used to be a big fan of Adonis Stevenson. His title reign has become a fucking joke. He's supposed to be the world light heavyweight champion of the world. It's become a joke. He knocked out Chad Dawson, and he's living off of that. He is still the guy that ran away from Sergey Kovalev. He was on HBO, had that fight in his fucking hand. Went over to Showtime, and his reign has become a joke. He fought the first time he fought Fonfara, the fight made no sense. Fonfara made it sense by giving it a great effort, and he's become a contender since then, except for the fact that he got knocked out last year by Joe Smith.
Right.
But for some reason, all you need to do is beat Chad Dawson to get a shot at Adonis Stevenson. Tommy Karpency came off the club circuit. to get that title shot, was embarrassed, went straight back. And now,
everybody made a career off of Chad Dawson, unfortunately.
That seems
Andre Ward, everybody.
It's ridiculous. And the thing is, Monahan didn't necessarily deserve the title shot. But the fact that, like you said, he dropped everything because he was offered this shot and to fight in Long Island. He's a big draw out there. He lives in Long Beach. And then, just to have that taken away from him, and the fact that nobody's speaking up for him. I mean, is it because this is a PBC fight and PBC promoters can't speak against one another? I mean, when Terrence Crawford didn't immediately jump to fight Felix Diaz, everyone was jumping down his throat. All sorts of media, blasting him. Right. So who the fuck is speaking on Shawnee Monahan's behalf? Well, I'm gonna speak up.
See, they should have, Jake. They should have just done what I said. They should have done the Shawnee Joe Smith fight. St.
Yeah.
They could have linked up with Bob, put it on the Conlon card. That could have been lit in New York that weekend, but.
And this goes to show you, it just takes certain promoters to make a special event. I mean, who the Top Rank would think of, putting Michael Conlon's pro debut in New York on St. Patrick's Day, Who, but, Top Rank would think about, hey, Nassau Coliseum's getting back in the boxing business. Let's take Long Island fighters and get them in a world title fight, whether or not they deserve it. Joe Smith is going to draw a crowd, especially coming off, the year he had.
Yeah.
Shawnee Monahan is going to bring all of Nassau County up into the building. It's just, it's a shame. My question is, what is Plan B? What is Plan B for Shawnee Monahan? Nobody's speaking to that.
Plan B. I'm gonna tell you what Plan B is. I wouldn't doubt if his manager right now is calling Carl Moretti. Like, look, they were promised to fight. They purposely did not resign with Top Rank because they felt like they did have bigger options, bigger fights, bigger money ahead, and they completely got shafted. And you don't see Mike Coppinger or any of these other people freaking out or having meltdowns about this. But like you said, when it came to Felix Diaz not getting the Terrence Crawford fight, it looked like he wasn't going to get it. There was like meltdowns all over the place, press releases, everything.
Yeah, it's really sad. And like I said, I want to see, I hope something comes of this for Shawnee Monahan. I hope there's a plan in place that, he's just not talking about the fact that he immediately went to social media and saying this was taken away from him. I mean, I think he would have kept his mouth shut if they said, look, this fight isn't happening, but we got something lined up for you. But when Nassau Coliseum press sent out a press release saying, all the events that were coming up, and boxing wasn't even mentioned in the press release. Yeah, that was supposed to be the big grand opening. The renovated building. We're bringing boxing back to Long Island. That doesn't seem to be on the docket right now. I hope something happens with Shawnee Monahan in the future. I know he didn't leave Top Rank on bad terms. I think Top Rank understood it was a business decision that he left. It's not like he just put up his middle finger and said, I'm leaving. He pursued an opportunity that Top Rank couldn't necessarily negotiate with him. If that's his best avenue to return, that'd be great. But, I mean, if he signed with Lou DiBella, then, it's now up to Lou DiBella to get him that next fight.
Yeah. All right, Jakey, make sure you visit, everyone, FightNights.com. This man put out like 16 articles in about 16 minutes over the weekend. Go follow up. He's got all the boxing news for you, everything you want to know, straight facts, not just opinions. Anyway, Jake, thank you. Have a good rest of your week. Thank you for bringing us Jake's Take. We love you. Always a pleasure.
All right. Thank you, RB Jae. Always a pleasure to be on the air.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Jakey. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back with ding, ding, round one of our two title knockdown smackdown. We'll be right back.
If you want the best, BoxStats beats the rest. BoxStats is the best boxing app for all you boxing enthusiasts and professional boxers. Perform a quick search and get all the info you want and need. BoxStats, available on the Apple App Store. Download it for free today. BoxStats, know your opponent.
Okay, we are back. Jay, what do you see in the hotline bling?
I see someone calling from the PHILLY. Let's bring the man on. Tevin Farmer. Is there a Tevin Farmer in the house?
Yes, indeed.
Yo, thank you. Yeah, man. Thank you so much for, coming on last minute, because we didn't want to put no words in your mouth. We saw the confrontation. We saw the video on FightHype.com. Seems like you and Gervonta Davis Tank got into a little scuffle confrontation in D.C. What happened? We want to know from the jump. Who rolled up on who first?
I mean, when I walked out of the venue, I seen him in the lobby, and he was talking to Jason Sosa. So I'm like, all right, we had something going on for the past 3 years through social media. And this is like the first time we actually get to see each other. So I'm like, all right, so something got to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I walked over, so to make myself known, so he can see me. And once he seen me, he did exactly what I wanted him to do. We met right there in the middle.
And some words were exchanged.
Yep.
You know, I know you've been really wanting that fight. You know, he mentioned to you that you need to get a belt. You said, you know, I don't need a belt to be a champ. And there was just a lot of emotion there.
Yeah. I mean,
go ahead.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
It just seems to me, you know, you've been asking for these big fights. You haven't been really able to get the fight. You even mentioned, you know, if you were with Al Heyman, that you would have already been a 2-time champ, maybe a 4-time champ. What did you mean by that? I
mean, everyone in boxing knows Tevin Farmer is probably one of the most skilled fighters in boxing without the credentials. And, I mean, Al Heyman got opportunities. If I was with Al Heyman, like I said, I'd be a 2-time world champion. I would have my opportunities, and I will seize the moment at the time. I mean, I have almost 30 fights.
Mm-hmm. So then let me ask you this: if you really do feel that way, you know, if I'm with Al, why aren't you signed with Al then? I mean, I heard you say I was going to get it off the muscle regardless.
Yeah, I mean, I reached out a couple times. I mean, we gonna work on that. We're gonna work on it. But I mean, what I mean for the muscle regardless, if I gotta wait till I be a mandatory, I'll wait. I mean, I'm not desperate for money. I have a good support system, so I can wait around and take these fights until I become a mandatory. Which Jose Suleiman is a good friend of mine, and he could push for me to make that happen. I can wait around. My support system is great. I'm not desperate for money. So I'm good. I can stay focused. I don't have to go out here and get a job. I'm okay. I'm good where I'm at.
So after you guys had gone back and forth and you were very clear that you wanted him to say on camera that you got next, did he give you that answer? Did he say it? Because for us watching in the video, the sound was a little here and there, and there were a lot of people talking. There was 2 things I wanted to ask you about. Did he eventually say it on camera? And then there was something someone said off camera when Sam Watson was asking you a few questions and you were saying you already respected and been tested. Someone just off camera said something to Tank, and he looked kind of mortified, like, oh, my God. What was said, and did he give you what you wanted? Did he say on camera that you got next?
I mean, he was all over the place. He didn't know Davis didn't know what he wanted to say, to be honest. I think he was just doing it for the crowd. He didn't really mean it. I mean, I don't think he really wanted to be there in front of me. I mean, it's a different energy when you're in front of a guy that's for real, that's not playing. And you see that he tried to make jokes here and there. He tried to make jokes out of what was going on. And I was serious. I mean, one minute he'd say, oh, we can do it. Next minute he'd say, oh, why we got to fight? You have 4 losses. Then one minute he'll look over. If you listen to him, he the real champ over there. I'm like, what the hell do he got to do with me and you? I mean, I'm a real Philly street dude. I mean, I never sold drugs, but I am from the hood, from the streets. I did a lot of things. And when you in my presence, I don't play around. Like, we gonna be serious. We ain't gonna try to laugh it off. We not gonna get hyped and let my team grab me. There's no need for all that. I mean, this is boxing. At the end of the day, we're gonna keep it boxing. There's no need to get hyped and jump all over the place when there's fans and supporters around. Nobody needs to get hurt right there. I mean, if it was me and you one-on-one, cool, do what you do. But we ain't here to hurt. We ain't here to hurt the fans or hurt your own team. I mean, you swing your own team. I'm right in front of you.
There was 2 things that caught my ear watching the video. Number one, when Sam Watson said to you, what weight do you fight in? Like, he was looking at you like he didn't know you. Like, he was like, what weight you fight at? And you looked at him like...
Let me cut you off. 2 hours before that, man, Sam Watson already had his talk. He gave me his number and, like, called me this weekend. Who do you want? And then before that, we rewinded back an hour and a half before that, he said, oh, you the guy that beat the hell out of Red Cat. So, I mean, nobody can downplay my success right now as far as what I'm accomplishment. I mean, I ain't the richest guy in the world, but my accomplishment is bigger than a lot of people's accomplishments. Not speaking on the world champion. But, I mean, my people know who I am. I'm getting millions of views on my videos. How don't people know who I am? You think they just type Tevin Farmer for no reason? No, I'm getting millions of views. I mean, social media is the key to everything right now. If you the man on social media, 9 out of 10 you'll be the man in real life. Like I said, followers equal fans, and fans equal money, and people need to understand that.
Well, the other thing that caught my ear was when he asked you the weight, and you looked at him crazy, like 130. And Tank looked at Sam and said, "How low can I go?" Does Tank not fight at 130? Is he at 135? Because he looked at Sam like, "Whoa, can I even fight at 130?"
I don't even, to be honest, I ain't even peep that. I just know it's the weight I fight. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, come on, Sam, you know this. I mean, I understand that's your guy, you supposed to protect him. But like I told Sam, I said, come on, Sam, you know this, man. I mean, like in a little sarcastic way, like, come on, Sam, I'm not gonna, I can't put nobody on the spot. I mean, Sam is a good dude. I don't want to put him on the spot, but I just give him a look like, come on, man, don't do this. Like, I understand that's your man, but don't try to play me either, because then I gotta be like, okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But all in all, Sam, my dude, man, we had a good talk. He actually called me after that situation. So hopefully we'll be doing business in the future.
Yeah.
He sounded like he wanted to talk to you, because he was like, he told Tank, and we saw that continuing in the video when they walked off. He's like, well, I wanted to hear what the man had to say. So he definitely was interested in hearing what you had to say. Yeah,
but then I got to clear it up, man. I'm 26 years old. Davis is about 22. I'm way more mature than Davis. I mean, I handle myself differently. He's still young, so I don't really get mad. For me, this is fun and games. It's fun. Like, it's good for the sport. Right now, he probably would kill me in real life, you know. So he's still a little young. So that's why I don't really get offended about things that go on for real, you know. I mean, he still got time to be sore.
He did put on his Instagram that as soon as he handled his work on May 20th, that you got next. Now, I don't know if Tank has the power to make them decisions or to make those calls, but he did put it out there publicly that he does want to give you your shot, that there has been a lot of talk, and that he does want to fight you next. So I think he has put it out there pretty clear.
Yeah, so if that being said, that means that their team got to make that happen now, because it's either he put his foot in his own mouth, or he's going to make his squad look bad. And I know all of them, they don't like looking bad. So it's either he got to step up or something got to happen.
Yeah, tell me what Tank meant when he said, I came to Philly. Was he looking for you? What was he doing in Philly? He mentioned something in there about he came to Philly.
Yeah, I gotta clear that up. Let me clear this up. So for one, I think he already had an agenda to come to Philly. I just was thinking that he was making it about me because he was already coming here. That's for one. For two, he comes to Philly about sparring. He comes to my gym. For one, I don't train in Philly, so you can't come to my gym. For three, when he got down here, when he got to Philly, I hit him up personally. Well, I hit Fat Reese and I said, yo, where they at? Fat Reese is a friend of Meek Mills and Meek Mills. So I hit them up like, yo, where they at? So he posted up on Instagram a picture behind the desk. I commented on his post like, yo, where are you? He said, this your neck of the woods. You know where I'm at. I'm like, and I comment back like, yo, you behind the desk. You can be anywhere. Tell me where your location is so I can pull up on you. You down here, I gotta see you. I screenshotted it, right? I leave his page. I go back to his page. What I post, everything that I wrote is deleted, and there's only his comments up there. I said that's why I'm glad I screenshotted it, and I can dig back on my posters and find them and post them if they think I'm lying about this. I wanted his location. I mean, I'm not saying I was going to do any harm to him or anything like that. But if you say you're coming to Philly to see me, you have to see me. I was home in Jersey. I live in Jersey. I was home in Jersey in bed. And when he said he was coming to Philly, I got up and came down to Philly in the hood and was waiting for
him. Dang. Okay. I just really hope that y'all fight. And you know what, Tevin? You already know that if the fight does happen, it probably will be in, like, the D.C. area. It would probably be in Maryland. You know, if he handles his work in May, they're going to give him a homecoming fight. And you already know you're going to have to go to somebody else's backyard. That fight ain't going to happen, you know, in Philly.
Oh, yeah, I'm good with that. I've been doing that my whole life. I mean, that's still going to be my hometown because I'm bringing the whole Philly behind me. Everybody can. I'm bringing the whole Philly. Philly right now, I feel as though right now in the boxing aspect, like I text Danny Garcia, I texted him, we were texting last night. I told her, I said, listen, I'm going to hold this shit down till you come. And then we both going to hold it down. But for far as right now, I mean, I think Philly, I think I got the key. I got the key to the city right now in Philly as far as boxing. And this is no disrespect to nobody else because like BY and all them dudes, because we all friends. But as of right now, I think I got the juice, and I think that it's my time to shine, and I'm gonna show up, and I'm gonna put Philly back on the map.
Okay, listen, I hear that. Listen, before we let you go, I do want to talk a little bit about Lomachenko, Sosa. You were in Jason Sosa's camp out there in Puerto Rico. He fought his heart out. He's such a gritty fighter who gives it his all. He left it all in the ring. What did you think about the fight? And tell us a little bit about how Jason felt afterwards and how he's feeling today, if you've spoken to him.
No, I haven't spoken to him today. I haven't spoken to Jason today, but as far as the fight, I mean, Sosa wasn't supposed to win one round of that fight. From what the people say, he wasn't supposed to win one round, and I heard that he won 3 rounds, and from my understanding, right there go to show you, a guy with 3 amateur fights, a guy with 400 amateur fights. If you go there and still win 3 rounds, if you don't win the fight, I think that's a good accomplishment on Sosa's behalf. I mean, look at what he did to Nicholas Walters. Nicholas Walters quit. Sosa was in there fighting with heart, will, and everything else. I mean, he didn't give up. He fought to the end until his training stopped it. So I think that's just Sosa, and I think he'll still be a champion again because I think he can beat anybody else in the weight division.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, listen, Tevin, thank you so much for calling in. We actually have to go find Tank and get Tank on the line next and get his version of the story. So we're going to throw you back on the queue. You could stay listening if you prefer. If you need to jump back on, you just press 1, and we know that you want to, talk and chime in again. So we're going to throw you back in the queue. But we look forward to your next fight. Make sure you hit us up and let us know.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah, I'm fighting April 29th.
Oh, I didn't know where at.
Yeah, the Leah course.
April 29th?
Yep.
Who's doing that show?
Hard Promotions.
Oh, okay. April 29th. Yeah, that's like in a couple weeks.
Yeah. But I'm always in shit. I was in Puerto Rico for 2 months, and I come back.
Yeah.
I was with Jason Sosa. I was still training. I don't take days off. But yes, I'm gonna let y'all go. I know everything on timing. And I'll stay on the line. If y'all want me to get back in, y'all tell me and just let me know.
All right.
All right, let's put this man back in the queue, and we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
If you want the best, BoxStats beats the rest. BoxStats is the best boxing app for all you boxing enthusiasts and professional boxers. Perform a quick search and get all the info you want and need. BoxStats, available on the Apple App Store. Download it for free today. BoxStats, know your opponent.
We are back. My goodness. It's live here on the Morning Punch-In Show on a Monday morning. This is, man, who needs coffee when you got us? But we are back, and I think we are going to talk to the other half of our dynamic duo this morning. Let me see here. I see a 404, but I'm not sure if that's our caller. Let's see. Let's pick up the 404. 404, who is this, and where are you calling from?
Gervonta Davis, I'm calling from.
Gervonta Davis.
Why do we just laugh when we hear his voice?
What's going on, Tank?
No, I'm chilling, man. I'm about to go to the gym.
Well, let's get into it. Let's get with it. You made some headlines over the weekend. Thankfully, it wasn't for anything criminal. We are glad you are okay. So let's just get into it. Let's get right with it. The video, shout out to FightHype.com, for the video footage that we used in our promo. Let's just get right with it. Why you rolling up on Tevin Farmer when you're not fighting Tevin Farmer in the next few weeks? What's going on? Did you roll up on him, or is he mistaken?
Nah, he wasn't that. We had some words before, and you know what I mean. And, I so happened to catch him at the fight, so you know, and that we had some words. So you know, see where his head was at.
And where was his head at? What'd you figure out about that?
He's soft, man. That boy is soft. That boy is soft. He's soft.
He's soft?
Yeah, he's soft.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Okay.
Yeah,
and okay, so you pulled up on him to figure out he is soft. How did this all start? Have y'all been going at it on social media that we didn't see? We know that Tevin wants some fights. And how did you guys even get to this place? You said you've been out in this city. He said you out there doing a job. Clarify all that for us, just so we can make sense of it.
He said I'm out there doing a job.
Yeah, that's what he said in the video. He said you were out there doing a job.
And Meek video?
Is that what you were out there doing?
No, I'm saying that's what he said. I was in Meek video.
He said you pulled up in Philly. You was out there doing a job. I don't know. Maybe you were sparring with some people. Maybe I don't know what you were doing, but
no. Actually, my jeweler from out there. So I was getting some jewelry from my jeweler, and you know I asked him he was talking trash. I mean, we had mutual friends with Meek Mills and things like that. So Meek Mill was like we should go and spar. He was making Philly look bad. You know, I came all the way from Baltimore. There's a few homies, things like that. We was looking for him. He was nowhere to be found when we was up there. Then when we left, you know, he popped out of nowhere talking about he on the block and all that. He could have just sent us his gym information, and we would have gladly been there.
Listen, he mentioned in the video that if he were with Al Heyman, he'd already be a champ too, that Al Heyman hands out belts. And you looked a little mad when he said that. And I think, and I need to get this straight, because I don't think you're signed with Al Heyman. When he said that to you, you kind of looked at him like, what? Are you signed with Al Heyman? Because I thought you were just signed with Mayweather Promotions.
Oh, I'm signed with Al Heyman and Floyd. I was signed
okay.
I was signed with Al Heyman before Floyd, though.
Do you feel like you've been handed a belt?
Nah, I feel like I deserve my belt. You know what I mean? You know, I'm in a good position where as though I didn't have to, you know, fight a lot of people to get my belt. You know what I mean? That's not my fault. You know, but I definitely showed up when it was time for me to, you know, walk that walk.
So one of his things that he kept saying on the video was he wants next after your next fight and his next fight that he believes will put a title in his hands. He said he kept asking you on camera. What did you tell him? Because there was so much going on around you guys, we couldn't hear everything. So have you guys verbally agreed to fight after he picks up a title belt? Right now, how I'm feeling, we can fight right after he fight April the 29th, right? Yes.
Yeah, that's what he said.
So he fight April the 29th. I fight May the 20th. We could get it on after that. We could. I come back to Baltimore and we could fight in Baltimore. You know what I mean? Philly only an hour and 30 minutes away, so we could get it on.
Yeah, I told him, I said, look, you know you're going to have to go to his backyard because he's a champ, and this fight, it's going to be in Baltimore. And he said, man, Baltimore's going to be my backyard because I'm bringing all of Philly. So he already thinking, you know, he's straight with going to Baltimore. But hey, go ahead.
He got some people from Philly, but he don't got the whole Philly. Even if I fought in Philly, everybody. Listen, I got people up in Philly, like, again, mutual friends with him, but we're not going to make this a Philly versus Baltimore. This is Tevin Farmer versus Gervonta Davis. It doesn't matter where it's at. know what I mean? We can get it on. It's a lot of people from Philly not going to come down. And I got the whole city on lock, like Baltimore on lock. No, he's not going to outnumber me in my city. I don't care who you is. He's not outnumbering me in my city. You crazy?
Lord, I don't even know where to go next, Jay.
Well, hey, how about
I think
this?
We need to get Meek Mills on the show.
We need to get Meek on the show. And do you think at this point, because you sound very nice and calm this morning, you've been training, that's good. Tevin sounds nice and calm right now. Can we get a conversation so you guys can we put you both together right now so y'all can fully air it out? Is there anything else left y'all need to say?
Wait, I got one more thing, Tank. You put it out there that you do want to fight him after your fight. You said, I want to give him his shot. We've been doing too much talking. Let me handle my business. Do you have the power to call them shots? Like, can you call Leonard Ellaby and Floyd and be like, I want to fight Tevin Farmer? Like, are they going to look at you like, all right, champ? Or are they looking at you like, no, you don't call them shots?
I'm calling Al, I'm calling Leonard, and I'm calling Floyd. I want to listen. I already had my mandatory out the way. I'm fighting my mandatory right now. So it's up to me and up to my team for us to make that. I mean, I get the last call on who I fight. So I believe I'm gonna tell them that I want this fight, and we're gonna go from there. But he definitely gonna get this work.
All right. Okay. Well, Tank, let's see. Is there anything else that we can? Well, before we try to bring Kevin back with us.
I got something else. Shakur Stevenson moved to Baltimore. I saw him on a video talking about, oh yeah, I'm here, watching the fight because I only live like 15 minutes away. I said, wait a minute, I thought he lived in Newark.
No, he don't live in Baltimore. He live in I don't know where Shakur stay, but I don't think he live in Baltimore. I'm not sure. But he got a car. He got a car, so he everywhere.
Listen, you was looking a little husky. I know.
That's my little.
Look, you were looking a little husky in that video. You good on weight?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super good on weight. They ain't thought I was gonna make weight when that was January 14th. I made it.
Yeah, you did. Listen,
hold on. Tevin Farmer was just in camp. He looked a little husky. What are you talking about?
Y'all
he just was in camp with Jason Sosa, huh?
That's true, but you know what? I don't know, doing camp in Puerto Rico is tough, man. He was probably eating rice and beans and all types of stuff. I didn't even know he was fighting April 29th. When he just said it on the show, I said, "Whoo! I haven't heard nothing about that in Philly." So that to me was news today.
I haven't heard nothing at all either.
No.
And where you get these texts from? Who he fighting?
What?
Where these people come from? Who he fighting? He fighting goddamn people that's in the bar next to him, taking a drink, and then they call to the ring and they fight.
Oh my God.
Listen, were you with Adrian Broner last night? Did y'all get into like some beef or something?
Yeah, these pussy boys be trying to come at my head because they know I'm at the top of the food chain. These pussies don't want nothing.
What?
Yeah.
What happened?
Just regular, girl talk. That's all.
So where are you guys at? Where are you guys? Are you guys friends? Are you guys cool? How do you get along with Broner? Are you guys cool, you and Broner?
Yeah, what happened? I thought y'all were good.
Yeah, man, Broner, huh?
Is he hating on your little shine now or what?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I thought we was cool, man, but people getting that feeling and things like that. I don't know. They getting that feeling. It's all good.
Was he in your city?
No, he's not in my city. We would have met each other already.
Oh.
Well, damn.
Well, listen, talking about meeting each other and everything else, Tank, I follow you on Snapchat sometimes. And I don't know, sometimes you scare me, kid.
Hold up.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking. You got these extended sticks on stuff. What you doing?
Come on, Gervonta. Come on, man. You making too much money for that.
Broner better watch.
Y'all having a gun off? What y'all doing?
No. What? No. What? No.
Never mind. We're going to skip right over that. We know what we're looking at.
Right.
All right. Well, everything seems to be good with Floyd now, right? Like, y'all are back on the same page. Everything is straight.
Yeah, everything great. Everything is A1.
All right, good.
Just ready for me.
All right. So, Lomachenko, Sosa, you were there. Is Lomachenko as phenomenal as all these people are saying he is? Is he the second coming of Jesus Christ? You saw him in person.
What? What are you saying?
That's what they saying.
What? He what?
They saying that he's like the second coming of Jesus Christ. He's the next Canal Whitaker. He's, everybody's having, orgasms over this guy. You saw him in person. Is he that good?
Lomachenko, he decent. Major respect to Jason Sosa. I commend Jason Sosa. He showed a lot of heart in that fight. I mean, I think his coaches should have stopped it earlier, but things happen. I mean,
if you were,
huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say you were actually there, so you couldn't hear what was happening on TV. But his corner, they did keep to their word. Right before they stopped it, he said, "Listen, if you don't go out there and knock him out and leave it all out there," he said, "I'll carry you out myself, but you're going to have to knock him out." And he said, "If I don't see anything, I am going to stop the fight. I'm going to let you live. You're not going to be hurt." I think they knew when enough was, and they did stick to their word. As soon as he didn't see nothing, he stopped the fight.
Yeah, that was sometimes us fighters, we got a lot of heart. So, most of us. I don't know. Some fighters. They quit it, so I don't know about most of them, but Jason Sosa, he got a lot of heart, so he was going. I was saying that at the ringside, like I was saying, like you're gonna have to kill Jason Sosa. You know what I mean? He gonna fight to his last breath, and that's what he showed. He didn't stop it. His coach stopped it. You know what I mean? So a lot of respect for Jason Sosa. I wish him the best in his career. You know what I mean? And he will bounce back.
All right. Well, Shakur, Tank, it's always a pleasure. I'm sorry, dear. I'm old. Tank, it's always a pleasure talking to you. Stop fighting in the streets with people. You got a fight coming up. Chill on the social media. Don't give us stuff to ask you about. If you put it out there, we're going to ask you about it. But good luck to you. You and Tevin, y'all send some tweets to each other. Keep the fire alive. Y'all don't have to play grab ass, but, keep the fire alive, all right?
Okay. No, all right. It's already in the pudding, so after our fight, we will meet.
All right. We're going to be there, too, and we're wearing Tims and vests. All right, Tank, we're going to talk to you later.
All right, thank you.
All right, see you.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we've got a surprise guest who just popped up in the queue that we want to talk to.
If you want the best, BoxStats beats the rest. BoxStats is the best boxing app for all you boxing enthusiasts and professional boxers. Perform a quick search and get all the info you want and need. BoxStats, available on the Apple App Store. Download it for free today. BoxStats, know your opponent.
We are back with the Morning Punch-In Show with RB and Jae. It is litty in here on a Monday morning, and that's how we like it. Good grief. We've had Tevin Farmer, we've had Gervonta Davis, and now we're going to bring in somebody that I enjoy talking to. RB, you love talking to. Let's bring on our next guest, Shakur Stevenson. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm straight. Just waking up, chilling.
That's good. We are surprised. We're happy to talk to you this morning. We see that you were popping up in videos this weekend at the fight at the Lomachenko fight. Before we get into all that, give us a quick update on how you're feeling. Your pro debut is coming up shortly. Give us an update on where you at with preparation for your pro debut and, what kind of message you want to send when you fight.
I fight April 22nd. We got exactly 12 days left. Right now, I'm about 2 pounds from fight weight already. I feel in really good shape, and I plan on going out there and trying to catch a knockout.
All right. So we're looking forward to seeing you. You'll be here in my backyard. I'll be at your fight here in Los Angeles at the StubHub Arena. It's going to be a great fight. You're going to be on the triple header out here with Top Rank. RB, we enjoyed talking to this young man when we were in Vegas. Very focused.
Yeah.
We were just prior to you signing with Top Rank. And, RB, I'll swing it over to you, and let's get in some more details about this conversation.
Shakur, we had a lot of fun with you in Vegas. You was eating our candy up. And I said to you, I had asked you, when are you going to decide who you're going to sign with, and what are those factors that are going to make you decide who you sign with? And you said to us, all promoters are kind of snakes. You just got to go with the right snake. And we really thought at that time, for real, we thought you were going to sign with Rock Nation. So when it came out that you made a left and you went with Top Rank, you kind of shocked the world a little bit. What was the deciding factor for you to say Top Rank is my future, that's who I need to go with?
Honestly, I just looked at most of the track record. I see what they do with they fighters like when they had Floyd Mayweather, they had Miguel Cotto, Oscar De La Hoya. Now they got Terrence Crawford, Lomachenko. They doing a good job with their fighters, and they doing a good job creating superstars. And honestly, I plan on being a superstar in the sport, so that was really my main factor in going with them, because I want to be a superstar. And I know they got the right tools to move me.
You know what? They are, and I'm not just saying this, but they are still a machine. And I think that you made the absolute best decision. They're going to put a ton of marketing dollars behind you. They're going to blow you up, and not many people do it like them. So we were actually really relieved to see that is where you went.
Yeah, thank you.
Different strokes for different folks, right?
Yeah, you're right.
I love that you're making your debut here in LA. That's going to be that's going to be a great show, a great atmosphere. You'll probably have a good time while you're doing it too.
Yeah, to be honest, it was supposed to be Pacquiao undercard, because it was going to be Pacquiao fighting in Australia, and it was going to be like a triple header thingy. But I guess Pacquiao couldn't get the fight done, so now it's me, Oscar Valdez, Jesse Magdaleno, and Gilberto Ramirez.
Yeah, what's good about you being on that card is you're going to get that whole Mexican fan base that follows them to see you. And let's not front, we know how big the Hispanics are in boxing. So I know in Jersey and Philly, where we from, it's a lot of Puerto Ricans. So you're going to actually get to see the Mexicans are going to get to see Shakur Stevenson. So that's a real good look for you.
Yeah, I agree with that. Gonna be my first time fighting in a different type of environment. Well, not my first time, but first time as a professional in a different type of environment. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're going to be on the Crawford-Diaz card when it gets back to New York for May. Are you going to be ready that quick a month later?
Yeah, that was another thing. It's supposed to be Crawford-Diaz in Newark, New Jersey at the Prudential, but I guess something didn't fall through. But Madison Square Garden is like 20 minutes from my house, or 25 minutes
that's close enough.
Yeah, that's right there. So I wasn't really tripping, and I like the Garden, so I can't wait.
So you were in Maryland this past weekend with this little scuffle, this little confrontation that broke out between Tank and Tevin. We saw you in the video. What did you think about that?
I mean, it's boxing. To be honest with you, I'm not the type of boxing that could be doing too much talking, but I guess certain stuff works for certain people, and they gotta fight now. Like they talking so much, they gotta fight, and I can't wait to see it. I'm a lot closer with Tank than I am with Tevin, so I'm behind Tank, but I believe it's gonna be a beautiful fight in boxing.
Yeah, the build-up has been great. In addition to them speaking this weekend, we had a chance to see Lomachenko in the ring. You guys were all ringside. You're making your pro debut, but that's something that could be happening in the future. What do you think about Lomachenko's performance? Us watching at home, they're ready to crown him as the greatest thing going, the number one pound for pound. What did you think about his performance this weekend?
I think, to be honest with you, I thought it was a beautiful performance. I thought Lomachenko is everything that everybody says, but I don't think you just could crown him pound for pound by fighting Sosa. No disrespect to Sosa, I like Sosa too, but that's not no real top caliber opponent to just place him pound for pound. But to be honest with you, that's my dream fight later on down the line. I love the way Lomachenko fight. I love his boxing IQ. I love his boxing skills, and I want to be able to fight him later on down the line. I want to put myself in a good position where I could fight Lomachenko for a big payday on pay-per-view, and we could turn it up.
They gotta keep you busy then. Hey, yeah. He only got 8 fights. You're gonna have 2 in the next 2 months. Y'all gonna be real close.
That's right.
That's not unrealistic. I'm thinking about that now. Lomachenko's got 8 fights?
Yeah, he might not have that. Yeah.
By the end of the year, he might have
9. 6. I think he 8-1.
Yeah, by the end of the year, you'll probably have 6 under your belt. Y'all gonna be right there neck and neck by next year.
Yeah, you're right, but he's a lot older, and I probably need a bit more time. So
yeah, a couple more years for sure.
Yeah.
So now, since you have been signed, since you are signed with Top Rank now, and you are moving forward with your professional career, what's been the biggest change for you since you made the signing?
I haven't really been that much of a change as far as life or anything, but training wise, we've been working a lot more on my power, and I don't know, I'm just ready to show the world what I'm made of. I feel like my whole life as a young kid, I've been put in type of situations where I've been pressured or they put pressure on me. Even when I was an amateur, when I used to be an amateur, all the people in the arena, wherever I was fighting, would come up, surround my ring, and I don't know, I just feel like I'm made for pressure, so I'm ready, I'm focused, and I can't wait to perform.
All right. Well, we thank you for joining us on this pop-up Spur of the Moment show. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Hopefully we'll catch up with you in the near future. I'm definitely going to be at your fight here in L.A., so I'm excited to see what you do. For those of you listening, remember, Shakur is making his pro debut April 22nd on the triple undercard, the top ranked triple header at the Stub Hub in Los Angeles. So make sure you tune in. Shakur, for the folks who want to follow you, we got to get your social media up. What's your Twitter and what is your Instagram so we can rock with you and keep an eye on what you're doing?
Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Shakur Stevenson. Y'all gonna see a lot of me, man.
All right.
Hey.
All right. Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate you calling, and we look forward to seeing you at the end of the month.
All right.
All right. Cool. Take care. Woo! We got a whole full. Anybody else want to call in this morning?
Anybody else want to call? Meek Mill on the line.
Meek Mill, paging Meek Mill.
As many times as Tevin and Tank said Meek Mill, we getting Meek Mill on the show because obviously Meek Mill knows what really happened in Philly.
Shoot, Meek Mill might be Al Heyman for all we know. All right, let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be back and start wrapping this show on up.
Yeah.
If you want the best, Box Stats beats the rest. Box Stats is the best boxing app for all you boxing enthusiasts and professional boxers. Perform a quick search and get all the info you want and need. Box Stats, available on the Apple App Store. Download it for free today. Box Stats, know your opponent.
Oh, wow.
It is 9:04. Yeah, it's nice. If anybody else wants to call, it is 718-508-9852. Press 1. I would just die if another fighter called in. But shout out to Shakur Stevenson. He showed mad love. We were not expecting him to call in. We did not schedule that. Actually, every time that we have tried to get Shakur on the phone, it hasn't worked. We haven't been able to coordinate it. We haven't been able to get him on. So I guess we just got to do like random drive-bys like that, Jay, where they just call in when they feel like it.
Exactly.
We
pull up in the morning. We outside.
Yeah.
Come out. So we're
going to run through a couple in case you missed it topics here. We'll run by these, give you the fight schedule. I'm going to dish a little bit of word on the curb, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. Let's breeze through. In case you missed it, no excuses. Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev has been set for June 17th. It's a redo of their fight. It's in Las Vegas at the Mandalay Bay. Rock Nation will take the promotional lead on this event. Kovalev has had some Twitter fingers lately. Girl, he's been so aggressive on social media, cursing Andre out, calling him son of Kovalev, son of judges, mother effers. I mean, we got to get Kovalev on here. We got to hit up Jolene.
Yeah. Kovalev is just wild. I kind of like it, though. He is talking so much. I like a little trash talk myself. Yeah, Kovalev is wild, jumping in Ward's DMs. It's a pretty hilarious, if you ask me. So it's going to be interesting where we're at. We know they'll both be in shape, but we'll see. The real key is the mental game when they get to fight night. We'll see where they're both at.
Yeah. In case you missed it, Charles Hatley, who is a fighter who is fighting Jermell Charlo soon here in the next couple weeks, he is suing Don King. He is 2 weeks away from a title shot versus Jermell Charlo, and he has decided to sue his promoter. Don King is absolutely flabbergasted by this. He said nobody wanted to give Charles Hatley a fight, let alone a title shot, and he went out there and got it for him. And we don't really know the specifics. All we know is that Charles Hatley's lawyer said that, it's unforeseen circumstances and a lawsuit, had to happen. So we're going to try to get some more on that. But Don King is being sued. And Gamboa is back on May 5th. Golden Boy's going to do a show the night before Canelo Chavez. Gamboa versus Castellanos. Y'all already know I'm kind of over Gamboa. But Golden Boy is going to have a triple header the night before Canelo Chavez on May 5th at the MGM Grand Garden Arena.
Who sues their promoter when they got you a title fight? Like right before the fight. I mean, after the fight was done, if somebody can send us a carrier pigeon, somebody can kite us these documents, we got to find these documents and get to the T of what this lawsuit is about. I mean, if it's Don King, we can probably guess it has something to do with money. But
money?
It has something to do with money and towels and the Ali Act and all those types of things, but we going to find out. Leave it to you girls. We on the case. We going to find out what this lawsuit is about.
We on that. Ruslan Provodnikov is now ready to resume his career, and some possible names that are being thrown around for Ruslan are Adrian Broner, Adrian Granados, and maybe even a rematch with Chris Algieri.
Man, I don't know about all that. I don't hate none of them, but Provodnikov, been out of the ring, got a lot of scar tissue issues, and I don't know. Maybe I like of all those, I probably like the Algieri fight the most. Broner gonna beat the brakes off him, and who else did you say? Broner, Granados.
Actually, I would like Granados to get that fight because I think he deserves a good win and a good payday and some attention. That'd be good for Granados.
Yeah, I like that. Let's all lobby. Let's all get on Twitter now.
We're gonna make the fight.
Let's lobby. We're gonna lobby for Granados, Provodnikov Granados, or Provodnikov Algieri. But we do not want Provodnikov Broner because a good Broner is a shit talking Broner, and it ain't gonna be much of a shit talking with Provodnikov because his English is not popping enough to talk back. We need to start getting some credit for making some fights. We really should.
We making the Gervonta Davis Tevin Farmer fight. We have to make this Granados fight.
We almost made the Shawnee Monahan Joe Smith fight, but they didn't listen to us. They could have had that popping in New York on St. Patrick's Day.
And now look.
Right.
And now look.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Anyway, moving on, in case you missed it, Gary Russell Jr. versus Escandon has been rescheduled for May 20th at the MGM National Harbor in Maryland. And Diego De La Hoya versus Eric Ruiz tops the Golden Boy on ESPN card on May 18th from Tucson, Arizona.
All right.
In case you missed this one, Jay, Mayweather Promotions has filed a petition with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office to use TBE. What Floyd is now working on is a cologne, perfume, and a skincare cosmetics line that will be called TBE. So they have filed for a petition to trademark TBE. So look out for that soon. If you want to smell good, or I don't think it's going to be in stores anytime soon, but that is in development.
It's going to smell like clean linen and strippers. No, I'm just kidding. It's going to smell good.
It's going to smell like a strip club. It's going to smell like money.
Right. Floyd not going to play nobody like that. Chances are it will smell good. So we know he'll hire the foremost chemist to truly capture the essence of Floyd Mayweather. That's how I imagine the pitch is going to sound. But, yeah, we'll see.
Before I give you the word on the curb, Jay, can you give us the fight schedule for this weekend?
I sure can. Starting on April 14th on Showtime, Dimitri Bivol versus Samuel Clarkson for the WBA interim light heavyweight title. And so stay tuned for that one. Malik Hawkins versus Carlos Soto will be in the co-feature. Also happening on the 14th from Los Angeles on Estrella TV, Ivan Delgado versus Charles Huerta, and Genaro Gomez versus Baltimore Ramirez. So that's going to be happening on Estrella on the 14th. On the 15th from Uncasville, Connecticut on HBO Latino, Sullivan Barrera versus Paul Parker. So we'll get a chance to see Sullivan Barrera out there. I think this is his first fight back since fighting Andre Ward. I have to double check. Please excuse me. Also happening on the 15th from Glasgow, Scotland on AWE, Ricky Burns is defending the WBA and the IBF Junior Welterweight, or it's a WBA IBF Junior Welterweight unification bout with Julius Indongo. So that is also happening on the same date. So those fights you can tune in. You'll be able to find legal streams of those fights should you choose, and that's the weekend fight schedule.
All right. Thanks, Jay. I'm going to give you some word on the curb, and then we're going to wrap up, and we're going to leave you on this Monday with a little bit of tea here. So the Manny Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn fight, that is very, very, very much so a done deal, okay? Obviously, Manny Pacquiao would not be fighting Jeff Horn if this fight wasn't going to take place in Australia, for what that's worth, meaning there's more money out there. It's going to be a bigger show out there. It's going to be a big deal. Manny Pacquiao is going to be a huge deal in Australia. Manny Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn could not happen here in Las Vegas. That just couldn't happen. So for what it's worth, it's going to take place in Australia. Here's another piece of word on the curb. There seems to be a major disagreement right now between Al Heyman, PBC, and ESPN. There are no PBC shows scheduled for 2017. They were supposed to have a show, I believe it was like April 14th, which is like this week or like next week. And that show is not happening. So there is something up there, and I'm trying to get more juice on this, but there is a major disagreement going on, and PBC could very well lose the ESPN deal this year.
Ooh, yikes. Well, we'll have to tune in there. Yeah, there hasn't been a card.
You know, when PBC and Al Heyman, when they went and bought up all this airtime, I was okay with that as long as they were going to do shows. I miss Friday night fights. If you ain't going to do a show every Friday night, give that shit back. Take your money back. Don't tie up the network, and let ESPN do what they did. Let them do their Friday night fights again. Let other promoters across the country, showcase their talent from their cities and do good shows. And just let's get that back. You know, I won't be mad at nobody.
Me neither. All we want is fights, no matter what. Good fights, competitive fights, up-and-coming guys. We just want some good fights. So I'm with RB. If you're not putting fights on, don't squat on a date. There's some other people who probably would love the opportunity to showcase their fighters. So let's go.
The last bit of word on the curb is about Felix Verdejo. We talked about him earlier, possibly getting the Flanagan fight in June. Well, here's the issue is that, you know, the Puerto Rican Day Parade is in June. It's in New York. It's a really big deal. Top Rank has dumped thousands and thousands and thousands of marketing dollars, and so has HBO, into Felix Verdejo and making him a big deal and marketing him and creating his fan base, and everybody just loves him. But, you know, he hasn't really been performing in the ring. Then he got into this motorcycle accident, which you know, had him out for a few months. And then they got him a little comeback fight in Puerto Rico where 8,000 people showed up because they still love him, but he still underperformed. And the word on the curb is that he's still having a lot of issues in Puerto Rico. He can't get away from the distractions. He loves to party. He loves to hang out. He loves the women, all these things. So they got him a sports psychologist to, I guess, like, break him down mentally. Like, you know, wake up, kid. Like, you could be the future. You can make a lot of money. You could be that dude out here. But the kid is young and he's a little naive. And now they're even talking about bringing in new trainers into his camp and possibly doing camp in, like, L.A. Like, they want him so far from Puerto Rico, it's not even funny. And
they
my
don't want to
thing
bring
is,
him out
Jay,
here.
yeah, and so my thing is, if you got to do all that with a fighter, if he needs a sports psychologist, if you got to drag him to the gym, if you got to relocate across the United States of America, does he really want to fight? Because a fighter who wants to fight, they go to the mother effing gym every single day. They are in there breathing, eating, sleeping, sacrificing. So if you need a sports psychologist, if you need to move your camp across the country, do you really want to fight?
Verdejo, let me tell you this. Verdejo, if they got to isolate him, L.A. probably is not that city to isolate him. They think he was turned up in Puerto Rico. Wait till he come out to L.A. This city is not for everybody. Everybody likes to come here for the weather and everything, but there's just too many distractions here. If you got to isolate this guy to get his mind right, maybe a sports psychologist might be the better move instead of just uprooting him, because you put a dog in the same pond, he's going to be the same dog. Maybe he needs to address the root of if he really has that hunger to fight. You know, he's a good-looking kid. He makes some good money. So moving camp ain't going to do nothing.
It all boils down to, do you want to be a fighter? Because if you do, you don't need a sports psychologist. You shouldn't have to move across the country just to go to the gym every day. A real fighter wants to be in the gym. They want to train. You know, it's, to me, this is doing a little too much. At this point, it's like, you either want to fight or not.
Right.
Yes, and you're a kid, yes, you're young, but damn.
If they insist on making them fight, they really want to isolate him. Put him down there with Ann Wolf. Ain't nobody coming down there. Put him down there on the farm with Ann Wolf. He ain't going to be doing nothing but training. And that's it. Don't bring him out here. Shoot, I might be out one night or something and be like, isn't that Felix Verdejo? So, yeah, nah, don't bring him out here. LA is not the city for that. I admire any fighter who can live and breathe and come out of LA. God bless you, because there are a lot of distractions here. So, yeah, we will have to wait and see what happens with Felix Verdejo.
Yeah.
Good luck to you, young blood.
Yeah. Well, listen, I had a blast today, Jay. We had shout out to Tevin Farmer, Tank, Shakur Stevenson. We got all the young guns calling up. We love that. Just a blast today, man. We hope you really enjoyed this show. We enjoyed doing it. Me and Jay, we've really been traveling a lot and doing a lot of other things. If you follow Jay on Twitter, you see her out there in Hollywood. You see her in L.A. She's talking to big-timers like Jamie Foxx, Sanaya Lathan. Like, Jay on a whole nother level doing her thing for blacksports.com, blacksportsonline.com. I've been traveling across the country doing all the boxing, but we are trying our best. Trust me, when we don't talk to y'all on Mondays, we feel like shit. So
that's right.
We're doing our best. We are doing our best to make sure we are here for you every single Monday morning. We know how much you enjoy the show. We see your messages. We read your DMs, all that. But listen, Jay, we are going to be out in Las Vegas. We are all booked for Canelo Chavez weekend. So we are in the beginning stages of maybe planning a tweet up for everybody, bringing you shows every single day. We are out there every single morning bringing you the interviews you want to hear. We're going to even be spitting some Spanish out there. We're going to try to get Canelo and Chavez stop by our table. Yeah. So good things ahead.
And for those of you who like to pop up at our room, we will begin the credential process probably sometime next week. So be on the lookout for the credentials form for the RB and Jae sorority suite. So credentials are required. They must be visible where you can see them. We do not have an embargo on whether or not you can drink in the room, but you must have your credential visibly showing for admittance. Thanks a lot.
Well, we appreciate everyone for listening today. Visit bagculture.net, ragingbabe.com, blacksportsonline.com. Jay, thank you as always. Catch us every Monday morning right here from 8 to 9. It's the Morning Punch-In Show. It's a wrap. We're out.